Hello guys. So I wanted to show you a really simple eye look today. I wanted to show you one that anyone can do, but I also want to throw in some tips and tricks and maybe some application strategies, because if you're having a hard time with your eyeshadow blending or your eyeshadow staying or getting those good transitions, that's what this video is going to be for. So we're gonna start today with the first thing I want to give you a tip with is the first tip is you always want to make sure your brushes are clean before you go in with eyeshadow, because if you go in with with a brush that has other colors on it, you're not going to get a true color for your eye. So we have our Houdini brush cleaner. You can use any brush cleaner you want, but this one to me is amazing, and that is a good one to start with. So I'm going to be using today this nice fluffy brush right here. This has a fluffy side on one side, and then it kind of has a domed, pointed, dense side on the other. This is our eyeshadow everything brush, okay? This brush is going to get really nice color on your eyes. If you do not have this brush, that's okay. You just wanna look for one with a fluffy end, okay? To get the look that you want. So the first thing we're gonna go in, we are going to start by priming our eyes. So the best way to get the truest color in your eyes is by priming your eyes and really getting them ready to put the color on. So I'm taking this brush, this is our multitasker brush, and it has a very flat side on it. And I'm going to go in with a highlight, my lightest highlight color. Now you can use a concealer for this too. You don't have to use your highlight color, especially if you don't have mascara. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just tap into this light color here, and I'm gonna give our eyeshadow a good base to sit on. Because when you look at your eye, it has a lot of redness on it, and that eyeshadow cannot be true color if you do not get a good base, okay? So it's kind of like priming your skin, you're gonna prime your eyes, okay? And if you don't have a brush like this, you can also use like a little beauty sponge. You can get those at really anywhere for super cheap. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply this all the way up to my eyebrow, okay? Because if you were to look really close at your skin, you have really uneven lines on your eye lid, which makes the color kind of look like it's not going to stay there. So that's why I'm going in with this, and I'm just blending that out. You can even take your finger, kind of tap that in, just like that, okay? So you can already see how much smoother that eye looks than that one, okay? The next thing I'm gonna do before I go to the other eye is I'm going to take my powder, and I really like this Airspun powder, and I'm gonna go in with this brush right here, and I'm going to just get a tiny amount. I'm gonna use this side right here. I'm gonna get a tiny bit on this brush, and I'm gonna tap that on top, and that's just gonna set that primer or that highlight that we used, okay? And I'm just gonna let that sit for a minute before I go in with any of my eyeshadows. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go back in with that highlight shade. I'm gonna tap that on my lid all over. If you have like a concealer that you already use, that would be great for this step. If you use mascara, you're gonna wanna use your lightest highlight shade to go in for this step. And it's just creating that good base layer so that your eyeshadow is gonna go on really nicely. Okay? And I like to just tap, but you can also use a beauty sponge like I said, okay? And then I'm gonna go in with my powder again, and I just put a tiny bit in here, and I'm not using much at all, and I'm tapping that on the lid, okay? Just like that, okay? So now my eyes are primed, and they're ready to go, and they're ready for eyeshadow. So, okay, close all that. All right, next thing, I'm gonna go back in with this eyeshadow everything brush that I had talked about earlier, and I'm gonna start by applying my colors, okay? So I've got, this is a huge palette, so I've got all of these colors right now, okay? And I'm gonna start with my transition shade, okay? So that's gonna be like your medium range shade, and I'm gonna move my hair back. And what you're gonna do with that is you're gonna apply it above the crease. So right here is my crease, and so I'm gonna apply it to the spot that when my eyes are open, you can see. So just above the crease, so right there. And I'm gonna go in with this color right here, which is called Zion. It's like a rust color. It has a lot more brown tones to it. And I'm just gonna go above that crease, and all that's gonna do is open up my eye. Now, another tip when you're applying your eyeshadow is that you don't wanna hold it all the way down here. You're not gonna have as much control, and it's not gonna blend as well. You just kind of go like this. So what you wanna do is you wanna hold your brush down here, kind of like you'd hold a pencil, and you're going to use that more so of your wrist to move that eyeshadow around. That's gonna give you the most control, and it's gonna help you naturally blend that eyeshadow, okay? So all the way up like that. And you can just see I'm just building it up, and I'm not taking it all the way to my eyebrow. It's kind of just right here in the middle, right above my crease. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So I've got my transition color, that kind of medium tone color, and then I'm gonna go in with Bird. Bird is gonna be a little bit darker, and I'm gonna take that on my crease. So right here, okay? I always call it like a rainbow. And I'm gonna take that, that's a little bit darker than Zion, and that's why I'm going in the crease with that. And I'm holding my brush down low, like I said, and I'm gonna bring it. The majority of my color, when I apply a darker color, is gonna be on this outside part, and then I'm bringing the rest of the product of my brush to the inside, just like that. So we're just making a transition, and you can even bring that up a little bit to your Zion, just like that, okay? Just like that. So we're creating depth. That's all we're doing with these steps, okay? The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch to this brush, which has a flat end, okay? And I'm gonna go in with a lighter color. We really wanna keep this part of our eye towards our nose really light. That's gonna lighten our eyes. It's gonna keep them bright. It's gonna keep them wide and open. So I'm gonna use this color right here, which is Valencia. And I'm gonna tap that color onto my brush. And I'm going to pat it right there. And that's also gonna keep, sorry, that's something right there. It's also gonna keep our colors from fading down onto that lid. Okay, so you can just see how that brightened my eye. I hope you can see the difference there. And I'm not using like a pulling motion, I'm using like a tapping motion, and that's gonna make it really pigmented, true to color on your eye, okay? Just like that. So it just brightened up my eyes. Then I'm gonna go in with my darkest color. Now your darkest color, you're going to have right here on that outer V. And when I say outer V, I'm going to basically make a V like that, okay? With my darkest color. So I'm gonna use this side, this dome side, and I'm going to go in with Bird with that one. So I'm gonna go right here, just kidding. Okay, so we're gonna go in with Bird. And I'm just gonna make that V and bring that in, okay? So you can see it. I'm actually gonna draw this on so you can see. Just like that. That is going to be that, and then the color right there, that V, and then I'm gonna just hold the brush down at the end like I showed you, and really just kind of blend that out on the outer V. I'm not taking it into the corner, I'm just taking it up and down. So I just added that dimension right there in the end of my eye. Same thing here. Just like that. And then I'm gonna take what's left of my brush, I'm just gonna take a little bit more and just kind of put it underneath here. Like that. And that's just gonna give kind of more of a dramatic look. That's something you don't have to do, but we could take this look from day to night so easily. I'm also gonna use this color right here. I'm gonna pull it out. It's called Gold Digger, and I'm just gonna tap it into my finger, and I'm gonna tap that on top just right kind of on that bottom part of the lid. And it just gives it a little extra pop. So if you wanted to take this look from day to night, you can always add a little shimmer, and it just makes your eyes pop really pretty. The last thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to just use, I have just this Ulta pencil, it's nothing fancy. And I'm just gonna go in my waterline. One tip, you don't wanna take your eyeliner all the way here. If you take your eyeliner all the way to the inside corner, you're gonna have your eyes look smaller, and we definitely don't wanna do that. We're trying to keep our eyes open. So just, I like to think about from the end of my eye to where my blue eye starts. Okay, so here to there, and that's a good rule of thumb to keep your eyes really open. And then I'm just gonna put it along my lid, right along the lash line. And this is a brown, that's another tip too. Brown's not gonna be as dark as black. Black tends to make your eyes look smaller, closed in. So I prefer to use brown. I think it just makes your eyes look more natural. It gives that depth that it needs, but it doesn't shut it and make them look really small like this, right? So the next step is you can put your fake eyelashes on if you want. If you like to go that route, I personally just put a little bit of mascara on. Okay. That's it, you guys. Super, super easy. I hope those tips and tricks helped you. If you have any questions, let me know.